Hi, this is Stephen Frew. This is the fourth, I think, of six podcasts that we're creating to introduce you to some of the ideas behind the scaffolding of marriage. What got us here? We've been working on it for a year and a half, something like that, and why we think it's important to invite you into the conversation. We do not see this conversation as replacing the marriage counseling or being one up on other techniques or strategies. This isn't a technique or a strategy. It's a context. It's a framework. It's a scaffolding. You know what a scaffolding is? You go see a building being painted or worked on, they make a scaffolding outside that holds the workers while they work on the building. So that gives them support. Well, the scaffolding of marriage is about holding the building, which is your marriage, as we take a second look, as we change our perspective on what we're doing, as we take a look at how we've dumbed down our own patterns. Hi, honey, I'm home. As we've dumbed down the relationship dialogue, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? We'd have a great relationship, Bruce Sterner said in his book. It's a great title. We'd have a great relationship if it weren't for you. Those old patterns that no longer hold or sustain, because somewhere around 50%, 55% of marriages are divorcing. And we're saying some of those probably need to happen, for sure, but some of them don't need to happen, maybe most, because they've lost the thread. There's no idea in Greek mythology called Ariadne's thread. And the thread represents a connection to consciousness, and keeping your hand on the thread, keeping your hand on your own growth and change, and your, more importantly, in terms of this model, your love's origin, how you started out and where you are now. That love's origin needs over and over again to be reborn into relationship for you to have sustainable connection over the course of your marriage, the till death do us part. Okay? What is love? We know a few things. Love is a hormonal rush. It is. A tender, protective feeling. Yeah, it's that. I feel that way towards my children, my grandchildren. A desire to share yourself. A commitment to engage, and that sustainably. That's love too. Love is a declaration also, involving intention, purpose, bonding, and lots more. So love is a lot of things. It's also a feeling, but it's a lot of things. We mean a lot when we say, I love you. And often we don't know what we mean. Or often we don't check out if the person we said that to knows what we mean. So here, doing men's work in my office, I often find men say, I love you, Bob. I love you too, Stephen. But what does that mean? Does that mean you'll come in time of a crisis? Does that mean you want to hug me when I'm sad? Does that mean you'll lend me $10,000 in times of... What does it mean? So we always are looking for that, not to get overly analytical, but to get depth going. It means something to say I love you. When I say I love you to my grandchild, it means something far different than when I say I love you to my wife, my partner. Okay? So there's a lot to that statement. Love is an energy also, or maybe all it is energy. And energy is life, the capacity for life. And as we all know, it is complex. Example, if I say I love, but then do not treat my body well, my capacity to love will diminish. So I can't say to my partner, I really love you, and have 3 scotches that night, because that's a contradiction. I can't say I love you and not walk or not take care of my health. I carry 30 extra pounds or something, and then don't tell me you love me. I mean, you may love me, but your love doesn't have any feet to it. So we have to kind of reassess what we mean by these things. Love energy is critical to your finding a pathway in relationship to rebirthing your connection over and over again. Okay? If I love but carry around significant burdens, wounds, and losses, those burdens or wounds or losses take energy to maintain. I will maintain them even when I believe I ignore them. got lots of illustrations, and we'll deal with a lot of that stuff in the scaffolding workshops and other podcasts and so forth, and in the book, which hopefully will be done by the end of the year. If I have wounds and losses, abandonment, betrayal, but I don't address them, there's energy taken to maintain those wounds and losses. And then when I say I love you, I only have partial energy for you. I'm carrying that gunny sack along behind me and using up energy maintaining it. A good example for me is I have an RV, and I was not using it for 2 or 3 months, and I'd go up to use it and it wouldn't start. Battery is dead. I go to the mechanic. He says, sure. Well, there's a battery drain. I said, can you fix it? He said, no. I said, what? He said, no. He said that in an RV, in an old RV like mine, there's so many possibilities. It would cost you a fortune to track everyone down. He said, there's little shorts, little things happening here and there. So what I want you to do is put a little device on top of your battery. When you park the RV, you flip this device and it disconnects the battery from the rest of the RV. When you're ready to use it again, you flip this little device, RV starts like that. There's a battery drain. You can't find out where it is, but if you cut off the battery, the source, then you'll maintain your battery. If you look at wounds and losses that way, there's a lot of energy drains. A lot of them. Maybe it's a relationship with a friend who insulted you, or maybe it's a business deceit, a betrayal, or maybe it's something with your mother, or something with your father, or your brother, or your sisters. Maybe it's something with your ex-partner. Whatever it is, there's a lot of possibilities. And if you don't deal with them in some way, and of course, a relationship, you can't just flip the switch. You have to take those on one at a time and solve them some way, so that the love energy, isn't going off maintaining some old wound and now is present tense available for you in your connecting with each other. Longevity is what we're after. Antidote to senility. Senility is adaptation. Longevity is dealing with stuff. Okay? So wounds and losses are energy drains. If you want energy, love energy, you have to address them. You can take some time with a competent therapist, counselor, or coach. Here's the challenge. Most of us, certainly, those who are healthy enough to be reading this, are survivors, where we've become good at that, and we can even characterize successful behavior as our inner orphan, but knowing that in itself doesn't change it. That helps us to know where to look. My inner orphan keeps me rescuing people from my childhood that were not rescuable, and I never could rescue them, but that's an energy drain in my current relationship, and I have to be attuned to it. The wounds become scabbed over. Good examples in the biggest possible way are adoption, that's a wound, abortions, those are wounds, sexual assault, or less dramatically, parental abuse, significant childhood illness, betrayals, and so on. They're all wounds. The maintenance energy is significant. It is often countered with unconscious strategies, eating or other addictions, smoking, booze, whatever. You can try to maintain them that way, but it's a failure strategy. I know, I tried it. I've lived there. My addictions don't help me deal with the wounds. I have to deal with the wounds. Love's origin and its abundant beginnings, easy to push aside when energy isn't available to harvest the core easily. Easy to ignore, easy to blame my partner, easy to medicate, call it a name, anxiety, depression, lack of motivation. But avoidance, denial, explanations and projections are intense consumers of energy which is now no longer available for regenerating love's origin. We're about regenerating or rebirthing love's energy. Thank you.